Hey guys, welcome to the Mainstreet Wines and Spirits in Chicago. We're here with Nancy. She's going to give us a tour of this store, and we're going to talk about inside what goes on in a bottle shop in America. Nancy,
Come on in. That's one of the core choices that I try to do, because I keep an eye on what the sales are for each wine, and if I have to keep restocking it, I probably won't put it on the tasting, because it's already got traction. People already really love it. But if I have a wine that I adore and it's not moving, I will put it on the tasting and bring it to their attention.
Hey guys, this is Sid Patel, your host of Inside the Drinks Business. I am live from Chicago here at Mainstreet Wines and Spirits. We are meeting Nancy here, who is the wine director of this store, wonderful store here, and we're going to really deep dive into a Main Street liquor store business of US. It will really help all our international brands understand how Main Street bottle shops work here and how Nancy's operating the store. So Nancy, thanks for inviting me here.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start, with some introduction. How you've come into this role, and just give us your background story.
Sure. My background actually was in advertising. I was a creative director for a few different advertising agencies, and the bottom kind of dropped out in 2008. And I had another chance. What do I want to do with the rest of my life?
Nice.
And I needed it to be something that was constantly learning, teaching. I love teaching, and I enjoy wine. So I self-educated and then got certified, and I started working here about 11 years ago.
Okay.
And it's been a beautiful journey.
Wow.
So
this was your first wine job, and still here?
No, I had other part-time jobs and other full-time jobs. I worked for an Illinois winery for a little while. I was their tasting room manager. But this is really, I have the world of wine at my fingertips, and very, very privileged to have that. Yeah.
Super. Let's deep dive into the role, your role, right? So what are you responsible for, and if you can walk us over your KPIs,
Sure.
sort of what are the business objectives, that you have to meet for your role?
Sure. First of all, it's profitability, obviously. We're not a non-for-profit, right? So we have to look at the bottom line.
Yep.
But it all has to do with feelings, I think. Relationships. I have to have relationships with the people that I buy the wines from. I have relationships with my consumers.
Got it.
And they trust me,
okay.
Which is phenomenal.
So
they do
that falls into maybe repeat business, right?
Right, yeah, exactly. So that goes back to the profitability.
Got it.
So definitely repeat business. Generations of repeat business, because we've been here for almost 40 years.
Got it.
So so they've brought their children in,
Nice.
Oh, I used to come here with my
nice.
mom and dad. So so that was it. Customer service is really part of profitability, and people don't seem to really understand that as much.
Yep.
And it's very important. I think it's very important.
How so profitability and top line as well. Like, are you? You said that you report to the owner of the store, for example.
Sure.
So. Do you have a monthly reporting format where you submit sales and profit for that month, or it's a yearly review?
Sure, it's really. There's not like a form that we fill out.
Understand.
He has all of the forms, and it's kind of like a teamwork.
Okay.
So he knows what the budget is.
Okay.
Okay, and then we go over that on a weekly basis. Okay, what can I bring in this week? Are we looking for this? What are we doing? So we have a little 10-minute meeting every Tuesday, and go over what we're looking for, because our stock rotates that fast.
Got it.
And the other profitability too is that we reorder quite steadily.
Okay.
So we don't sit on inventory.
Got
right?
it.
We don't have a lot of inventory, which that's his brain working. Great businessman that he is. That I've learned
what does he do, and what do you do?
So I take care of all the wine. Okay. So. And that means stocking, ordering, setting up. I'm also the events coordinator, so like every Saturday we have a tasting here. I'm in the middle of organizing our huge event, 250 wines, 10 to 12 different restaurants in one place. So I'm in the middle of doing that. That's on November 6th. So I do a lot of that groundwork. I do all the internet work, all the social media, the websites. What John does is that he balances all the books.
Got it.
He's got the check book, and he understands the prices and what they are. We work with an affiliate, so we have buying power. We're not just one independent store.
Okay.
So there's an affiliate that we all belong to, about 600 independent stores.
Got
so
it.
we do have a large buying power. So he decides on what, 17 cases are coming in the back door as far as the bigger buys.
Understood.
I'm more of the fine wine buyer.
Got it.
Yeah.
So I think you are more of the face to the consumers, to what I'm understanding, and
Yes.
he takes more of the buying, right?
Yes, exactly.
And your job is more of sales, like selling wine,
Yes.
and profitability. So back on that, is there any ratio that you have to meet for the store for wine percentage? As far as the top line sales goes, that okay, we've hit $10 million, but it has to be 6 million wine for
Right.
sure.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much what the ratio is. I wouldn't say that those are the numbers,
Got it.
but the wine, you can see that the wine takes a large footprint in the store, so it does have a lot. It does have a lot to do, and people come here because of that,
the wine.
right? Because of the wine. But we're full service.
Yeah.
Spirits, our liquor, unbelievable. Our beer section is phenomenal. Local breweries, lots of craft beers. And then we just increased our seltzer section, which actually changes like every hour.
Got it. Got it.
Because there's so many new ones coming out.
Got it. A lot of times I've noticed, when, for example, if I'm shopping on the floor, and if someone just comes and asks me, how they ask is very important, right?
Very
Like, do you
much
need
so.
any help, or and then just
Yeah.
walk away by
Right.
reading the body language.
Right, yeah.
What are your reading the people tips here?
Sure.
On
well,
who to
definitely.
live alone. And
Sure. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of body language
Yeah.
that is interesting, but you always have to approach every single person, no matter if you think they're going to want you there or not, or give you, and try to have a contact with their eyes. Like, can I help you with anything? Are you looking
So you
for
would
today?
go there,
and yes,
and then you would
actually
try.
like really get in, not in front of them,
Perfect, yeah,
right? But
yeah.
just acknowledge they're there.
Yeah.
If they need any help, I'm right here. My name is Nancy. Introduce yourself, and then I'll be back by my desk.
Got it.
So just so that it's, again, the intimidation,
True.
right? We don't want a hard sell.
True.
People are really good consumers.
Yep.
They can Google anything,
Yeah.
right? So they'll know what's going on. So if you're being honest again with them and have that eye contact, I think that
At
means a
what
lot.
point of time you ask them, like after 2 minutes, or after you noticing they're just browsing
Yeah.
and lost a little bit?
I
or?
try to get there as soon as I can.
Okay.
I
So
mean,
immediately the moment
pretty
someone
much so
goes
as
in.
I see somebody that's with the way the store is set up, our North American wines are over here, and our imported wines are here. People here know the wines a little bit more, so they might not need to be approached as quickly. But people over here might not know the wines and want to learn more. What's a Burgundy? What Bordeaux should I buy? What's a Barbera? So I approach them a lot faster, to be honest with you, because
Got it.
they're looking for answers more.
These are the stacks.
So
What's the
these
reason
are-
behind the stacks here, Nancy?
So this is actually these are our best-selling, spirits that we have. And we've taken a stance on merchandising and also keeping this inventory pretty stocked, because we go through quite a bit of it. And we have a lot of our holidays coming up. Our holiday packaging will all be up here too. So if you're gift giving, you can always do this. It's right there as soon as you walk in.
So I guess the
Yeah.
logic is you're using this as inventory and storage as well, because it's super fast moving.
Sure, right, yeah. So instead of having to bring it all the way
Yeah.
up all the time, we can just replenish it
And
here.
same logic is
all the
for
way
this.
through here, yeah, all the way down. We have
Nancy, on
Yes.
this, how have you done the display? Like, is it vodka, gin, tequila, and is there a theory behind?
there's no, because there's vodka up there and then there's vodka here.
Okay.
So it has to do, I think, more so with
Selling?
how fast it sells.
Okay.
Yeah, so the ones that are closer up to the store are faster sellers, and then these are also faster sellers, but we also have all of this on the shelf too. So it's in our bourbon departments, vodka departments, accordingly. Yeah.
I noticed one more thing there, which is it's a 5-6 case stack. The science is what, eye level sort of you want, or
Pretty
a
much
little bit
so.
of convenience like
Yeah,
that?
yeah, definitely eye level, so that everybody can see it, especially as they're walking through it. And notice how that's all facing the front.
Yeah,
right.
true.
So as you're walking in, you're seeing it.
Yeah,
and
that
it's
is a different thing
staggered.
I'm noticing,
Yeah,
because
and
usually
it's
it's
staggered. Right.
that
Yeah,
way.
and this is all the way down. It's all
Yeah.
staggered all the way down.
So I want to ask you more on the practical side, which you're doing, right? So which is, let's say, you're responsible for sales, and we talk about how you're going to drive sales up, and John says, Nancy, let's aim to drive 10% top line for wine.
Sure.
And assuming it's the standard months like April, May, June, not
Right,
the holiday
not the
season.
holiday season.
What kind of things come to your mind? What would you do purely to increase top line?
So there's a number of different things that we do. Obviously, we have a tasting, so we would taste out the wines that we would want to.
The in-store tastings, you would
In-store
increase
tasting,
that?
increase those.
Okay.
Right, they're normally on Saturdays, but we can do some on Fridays,
Okay.
or even just feature those wines on the tasting.
Got
Now,
it.
that makes a big difference too, because when people taste the wine, they really enjoy it.
Yep.
And then they'll buy it, even
So
the price points. You
I
know?
agree,
So
yeah.
so that's really good. A lot more off-site events I
Yep.
do also. I do winemaker dinners with area restaurants.
Yeah, I was trying to understand. So
Yeah.
how is that connected? Because it's a BYO area or something?
No, the retail the restaurants that I have a partnership with, it's they have a retail license, but that night that they have the dinner, we get all the retail sales. Okay, so whatever we just did one for Joy Creek, and
So they can buy from you?
They ordered the wines, and then they come to the store and they pick it up.
Ah, okay.
So that's how we increase sales too with that, and it's also we have 3,500 people in our wine club.
Any other things you guys do, like do the checkout people ask, did anyone help you on the floor?
Yeah.
Are there any other things?
Yeah, we always try to ask, have you found everything that you were looking for?
Okay.
So if there is any questions that they might have and they didn't get to ask anybody on the floor, or if we're running around and we can't get to them,
Yep.
it's always, we're always there. So yeah, we greet everybody that comes in the door, welcome in, hello, how you doing,
Right.
That's very important too, very acknowledge them as
Yep.
they come in the store. Some people know us all by name, so
Nice.
so that's really nice, to have
And
that.
what other things do you do, like thank you emails? Do you have an automatic email going on because you have an email already?
Right,
or no?
exactly. Not necessarily, but what we do is for our wine club members, if they renew, we give them a gift certificate at the register for
Yep.
renewing. It's 20% off of one bottle, so that's kind of an incentive to stay in our wine club
Okay.
and continue on. The other thing that we do too, we do this program that I created about 10 years ago. It's called Monday Madness.
Okay.
I was looking at the lowest sales day, right? Okay, in the store.
Yes.
And Monday was one of our lowest sales.
Yeah.
So how do you increase sales on your slower days,
True.
right? And what we do is it's called Monday Madness, and it's a delicious wine at an amazing price, but you have to come in the store on that day to get it. And that increased our sales from 6 to 10 different cases.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that was, and it's continued on. We haven't missed one yet. So, and it's very, very profitable. So going back to the profitability, I forgot to say that. So yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
What not to do, to piss a customer?
Don't get them mad at you. Definitely, don't be intimidating. Don't act like you know everything that there is to know about it. They tell me that they're not wine experts, but they are wine experts. They know what they like,
True.
right? So,
Yeah.
so you tell me what you like, and I will match that to
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Always ask questions and be considerate.
A lot of times, when you go in a restaurant, you already have the pricing, right? So it's very hard for sommeliers to ask, what kind of pricing you are looking for. Do you ask those kind of questions?
Absolutely,
Are you
that's
looking
one of
for
them, yeah.
value or?
Sure, yeah.
What-
I ask them what the price point is. A lot of
Okay.
people will say, oh, I want something inexpensive. And I'm like, well, what is inexpensive to you?
True.
What's relevant
True.
here,
So what's that exact question you ask?
That exact question is what you're looking for, red
Okay.
or white. I try to, decipher which
Yep.
wine. How much do you want to pay?
Got it.
And I don't want to break the bank. And I'm like, okay, not too expensive. Okay, still need some kind of guide.
Yeah.
$20, $30, $15,
Yeah.
whatever it is, So I put them in that position of making a decision.
Yeah.
And then I take them to where where it would
And then
fit.
you normally show 2 or 3 options, so at
Yeah.
least there's A, B, C.
Yeah, I do 3 options,
Okay.
and then they ask me, which one do you like? And then, so it's usually the one of those that I
And that's
like.
where the honesty comes.
That's where the honesty
Like,
comes.
I actually
yeah.
just like this.
Right, yeah, exactly, yeah.
And there's nothing else then.
No
margin,
it's not.
nothing. That
No,
time you just
no,
say,
it's
this is
just
what I
that.
like.
And it also has to do too with the relationships that I have going back to the salespeople. As I walk the aisle, I have a lot of salespeople. Oh yeah. Oh, he was just in. Okay, yeah. No, this is a good wine. I really like it because the wine has to be a well-balanced wine. It has to still taste good. It has to be well made. So if that's the case, now other factors come into play. Definitely.
So let me break it down. So you have a winemaker dinner, let's say at XYZ restaurant,
Right.
and you have invited 20 people, and a winemaker is there, and they just are tasting. But if they want to buy after that, that buying inventory, is your inventory where they can purchase the bottle at the restaurant.
Right.
Technically.
Yeah. No, they don't purchase it at the restaurant.
Okay.
It's an order form that they fill out, and then
they come here and
pick it up. Yeah. So it's a win-win situation. They're having a fabulous meal at the restaurant with these wonderful wines, and then they come to the store and then they purchase that. So
that's a great way to increase and draw new customers as well. I believe,
new customers,
right?
even for the restaurants.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they don't. Oh, I've never gone to that restaurant. Let's go see what they're doing. So
True.
yeah, and it's local.
True.
You know, it's on our communities and
So just for other store operators out there, what's your pitch like? What's that barter trade? You know, what do you go and say to the restaurant?
Oh, well, I have really great relationships with the area restaurants because I've been doing it for a while. And if there's a couple of different things. If they work with the same distributor, because I have the opportunity to work with about 40 different, you know, suppliers, distributors, importers. If they work with the same, so then they can order the wines and keep them on their menu. The main goal is to have it in two places, have those wines in two different places.
So you both win, you know?
Right, exactly, yeah. So it's on their menu,
Got it.
on their wine menu, and they're also on our store.
So this would be for a small or a boutique sort of winery sort of thing?
Well, no. I did the Prisoner Wine Company.
Okay.
I did Michael Glatzer's.
Because where I was thinking was you guys then say that, okay, don't sell in other stores, just in this restaurant, in my store.
Oh, the inclusivity. It can be, but it's not. We always look at where the wines are being sold.
Got it.
Are they restaurant only? Are they in the Jewel, the local grocery stores, you know? And then that also dictates our persona, like what we want to present to our customers.
Got it.
And the price. Price value ratio is one of our biggest, as a buyer,
and that's
what
linked
I look
with
at.
the other, who else is selling, right?
Right, yeah, exactly.
So you can mark it up.
We can be, competitive.
Got it.
Right? So I mean, we don't want to be $10 more than somebody that's selling it, right? Because they'll just go over there to sell it, right?
True.
We want to be competitive always on our prices.
What's your tips for, I'm a big fan of people having, even if it's normal case like this, a logo and some colors instead of a white carton.
Right, yeah,
How
exactly.
much do you hate and love white?
I hate white cartons. There's no, you're missing out. It's like a white canvas, right? You're missing out on your brand.
Would you ever give that brand a 3K stack or a 10K stack?
Oh, we have, yeah, but it's more in
rare,
the wine.
Right?
Yeah, it's more in wine.
Got it.
Than in the liquor companies. They really know
how
that.
to.
Because that's their name,
True.
So that's gonna be recognizable. Yeah,
True.
Definitely.
Nice.
Okay.
And what's the logic behind those?
So these are our grab and go kind of things. Champagne in splits, half bottles, 4-packs. Some people, they're single serve. They just want 2 glasses of wine, so they're going to come in and have some of that. So that's what it is.
This whole thing is usually for the fast come and go people.
Pretty much so.
And usually spirits is like really loyal customers, right?
Very
they know
loyal.
exactly.
Oh yeah, they're going to go to
What
Tito's.
my mind says is you don't move this much because
no, not much.
Like they know where Tito's is,
exactly,
right?
Yeah, yeah. So this has been. We used to have wine years ago. This was all wine, and then we decided to make it all spirits and liquor because that was more fast moving.
Yeah.
Okay, so the inventory was rotating a lot faster. So that's why we kind of made it all this way.
I think I've been seeing your accounts, and you're great at in-store tastings, right?
Oh,
That's your strength.
Yeah.
Walk us over, your exact format of, I believe it's Friday and Saturdays, which you may be using it, but what hours you've thought that's a peak hour, and then walk us over a journey of a customer. What kind of spiel do you use? Hey, do you want to try this? And the whole thing where other stores can learn from you.
Sure. Well, free is a big character there. They have no risk. Free.
Yeah.
You're coming in to buy a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
You don't know what you want to buy. Well, we have all these wines open. Why don't you taste one and see what you think? Very unintimidating. I tried from the first day that I started here. I thought wine is intimidating enough for many people. Let's take that equation out.
Got it.
And make it more more approachable.
And it's not a deal with the distributor that the rep is coming. It's you guys who are doing it. Okay.
Sometimes. Today we have Banville wine merchants coming in. A representative from that supplier. It's all Italian. Get the Italian flag up. So we do that. But most of the time, it's wines that I pick.
Okay.
I have hired staff that works back here.
All right.
And they're pouring. They're very knowledgeable. They're very friendly and open.
And that's what, 2 hours? like 5 to 7?
No, it's actually, we do it 4 hours from 2 to 6.
2 to 6.
2 to 6 every Saturday. Without a doubt, we've never missed one. The only time that I've ever missed a Saturday, and this year too, would be if it's on like Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve.
So your regulars know that there will be always a pop. You know how you go in Costco, you know
right.
that
there's always something. So every Saturday, 2 to 6.
Understood.
Yeah.
This I've been hearing. It's a hot brand, right?
Screwball. It's been for a while. It's like a peanut butter bourbon.
What's selling these days? Like what's hot in spirits?
Sure, bourbon. Bourbon is just still
and what,
super.
Premium
Whiskeys,
bourbon?
premiums, the hard to find ones. You know, the Blantons, the Eagle Rare, all of those. We do get some, but I swear I think these people follow the truck from one liquor store to the other because because we don't get too much of them.
On bourbon, I just want to pick your brain on what is a good neat package. You know that you think is good for like $30, $40.
Right.
This is a nice bottle.
This is a very nice bottle, yeah, and it has 2 actors behind it. They've been actually in the store, signed a few bottles. We had an event with them, so that was really quite nice. Very nice people, yeah,
nice. Cool.
yeah. So we can walk down this way.
And this, Nancy, is
the cigars
for
we have.
later on for the
right.
checkout
Yes,
aisle.
exactly. Yeah, we have a great. This is a humidor that's here, and then these are our higher priced bourbons and tequilas. That's the other thing you were asking about. What's a hot tequila is another one. Agave.
The category.
Mezcal is more.
Hot.
Mezcal is hot. So yeah, but these are our barrel selections and highly allocated. We only have like 1 or 2 bottles of this.
What are some of the growth hacks you've discovered for positioning and merchandising that thing? You know, like what's an ideal location as soon as someone comes, or maybe in the wine area? How do you do it?
Well, we do all the tastings here in the store, and I do cross-market merchandise a lot.
Okay.
So, like, I have a Côte de Rhône red blend in my blanket red blend section.
Got it.
Okay, just to try to like think about this. Yes, Rhone Valley wines are red blends, so why not put them there? I find that is also too. I have an Argentinian Cabernet Sauvignon that's in my Cabernet section, right? So, and it's selling.
Nice.
So yeah.
On that tasting, what kind of goals do you give your person who's doing the tasting? Like 4 cases or 2 cases in 4 hours?
Usually our average is 6 cases.
Nice.
Yes. So when I hit my 6 case mark, I'm very happy.
Yep.
And
that's 12 pack, right?
That's
72
right.
bottles.
Yeah. Sometimes it's 6 packs, but most of the time it's 12 packs.
Uh-huh.
So and like today we're doing a little bit of different. We're doing Italian beer and also vermouth. So it's got the whole theme. So it's not just wine always.
Got it.
Yeah. So that's kind of another thing that we upscale. But yeah, the people that are behind here, they really happy when they're here. It's a very good turnout. I have really loyal customers and customers that actually buy.
Yeah.
So I'm very fortunate.
What do you do when customers ask that, hey, do you have, let's say Brothers Bond, and you normally don't have, so do you usually put an effort after there are like 10 inquiries, or one you would not bother, right?
Oh, well, we can order anything. So if they ask the first time that we don't have it, we'll take their phone number and their name and find out if we can get it for them.
Even for 1 bottle?
Even for 1 bottle, yeah.
Okay.
Even for 1 bottle of wine, whatever the product is.
And you'll put an effort
Customer
to call
service,
Great.
right? That's what separates us.
Got it.
So so we will call whoever and find out where it's at, or what is that product? Okay, is it something new that we need to be paying attention to? So we listen to our customers a lot too.
Got it. On the buying, right? We already touched base about a little bit on when they should approach you, and what should be their sort of first appointment getting pitched.
Sure.
But let's say they got an appointment, they're lucky, this is a new producer. What would you want them to cover in their presentations when they're introducing a new product to you?
Sure. Well, again, back to the story. Where does this wine come from? Who are the people that are behind this wine? Why did you choose it in your portfolio? What points did you like about this wine? I like to get their opinion also, because they're selling it to me. So, and then I in turn have to sell it to my consumers. So that would be it. Price value ratio. If I taste the wine and it tastes like I could sell it for $15, but it actually is $30. That's kind of not, So you have to know where to price your wines. Definitely. Relationships again. Just stay in touch with me. And be present, but not annoying.
A couple of tips, like actual spiel, like what's the introduction thing? Like, hey, would you want to try wines? Can you give us an actual spiel, and then maybe a closing thing as well, that we want a bottle, do you want to purchase? It's on sale, I can give you $2 off.
Sure.
What's those kind of things?
So I always ask people if they want to taste wine, right? We have wine open, it's a free tasting. We're featuring Italian wine today. Whatever the theme is, there's always a theme. So whatever the theme is, that I kind of present that to them, especially if they're looking in that area.
Got it.
So today, if they're Italian wines and there's somebody that's in the Italian wine aisle, I'll walk over there and say, you know, are you looking for some Italian wine today? Yes, I am. I said, well, we have some open. Would you like to taste it? Oh, well, that, you know, they're very, very, all you have to do is ask.
Yeah.
You know, you really do. You have to ask. People always like to be asked about that. And then usually at the end, we just, you know, as they go through the tasting, at the end of it, we ask them, is there any, you know, this is where you purchase them, you can take them up, and they'll ask, can we take them here? Absolutely. So yeah, so it's a very calm, it's not hard sell.
I got it.
Right? Yeah.
For example, if someone picked up a $30 Italian red and your tasting is of $12, would you still go and ask, hey, do you want to try those ones?
Right, so on our tastings, I always try to give a wide range of prices so that there's a little bit of everything. So I do have a $30 bottle and I also have a $10 bottle.
Fair enough.
So yeah, it goes, and that's a theme that I try to do all the time. We just did the Côte de Rhône not too long ago.
Surprising is what you use mainly for
yes.
laying it out.
Yeah, so it's something different, you know. The Rhône Valley, I had a Chateauneuf de Pape. That doesn't get open very often. How often do you taste one of those? But we sold. Right, because we're giving that to them.
And let's link this with what other business objectives you are meeting with your store tastings. You know, one comes to mind is unsold products or slow-moving products. Do you use store tastings for that as well?
Yeah, that's one of the core choices that I try to do because I keep an eye on what the sales are for each wine, and if I have to keep restocking it, I probably won't put it on the tasting because it's already got, you know, it's already got traction. People already really love it. But if I have a wine that I adore and it's not moving, I will put it on the tasting and bring it to their attention. So, well, we're entering into my domain. My favorite spot is my wine area. This is all imported wines. We have the store set up in different sections. These are all imported by regions. With countries by regions, and then over there is where our North American wines or domestic wines are by varietals. I also have behind you is my favorite corner of the store. It's our champagne aisle, and I think that we have.
Are they back now? They were like out of supply.
Yeah, they're back. Prices are higher, so. You know, get it while you can. That's the kind of thing. The other thing I'm pretty proud of is our port wall. This is a pretty extensive Portugal port offering that we have, and it's been like this for a very long time. So we have a lot of vintage that we took stance on, and and this is now becoming the busy section. As the weather dips down, people are looking for port and cigars to warm up.
So I've noticed that usually in most of the stores, I've noticed that it's an intersection of wine and spirits where is there where you think that spirits consumers are also buying for?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that's it. And they also are looking, like, this is our higher end collection of wines, and so they're also looking at that too because gifts are coming up. You know, it's gift season, corporate gifts. You know that you can do. So yeah,
you use a lot of shelf talkers and hand.
Yes, they mean a lot. You know, we can't be on the floor all the time, and we like to give the customer as much information about the wine that they're going to purchase as they possibly can get.
Are they downloaded from the supplier's website, or do you yourself write tasting notes?
I do write some tasting notes, but they are from like the Wine Spectator or
So
Robert
distributor
Parker.
would come and merchandise this?
No, I do it. I do. Yeah, I check.
You would find the product on Wine Spectator and then
and then I would print it out. Exactly.
Nice.
But again, you know, the Nancy's arrows are the ones that.
So in this case, this is your favorite?
Yeah, I love Bollinger.
Got it.
Yes, exactly. So it's,
what qualifies for Nancy's favorite? How do one what makes it Nancy's favorite?
Well, there's a lot of factors.
Yeah.
First of all, it's got the taste,
Yeah.
right? If I enjoy it, then that's what's really great. The other thing that the person behind it that I bought it from, right? How hard are they working? Are they working hard, or are they just like here?
So you respect the hustle?
Very much so. Yeah, very much so. So that has to do with it. And then the story behind it, and who is behind it? How is it made? You know, why is this so much better than the other one?
True.
You know, and it also has to do with the event that I'm doing. Like if I'm going home by myself and having a bowl of chili, you know, then where's that wine that I'm going to have by myself? But if I'm going to friends, I'm going to take something like that, right? And we're going to enjoy it together.
True. What's your definition of slow moving and fast moving? So, for example, I'll give you a scenario. I'm an Australian Shiraz. I sold you, you know, this one case, and now it's a new product, right? So after 1 week, you expect that automatically to be moving 2 bottles at least out of 12?
Yeah, that's about right, but I would give it a little bit more, especially, and it depends on the category.
Yep.
You know, Australia Shiraz is something that's kind of
Sort
difficult.
of slow
you know,
now,
it's
yeah.
a slower kind of thing, so it would be, but a projective of that would be really good.
So you would give it, what, a month max?
Probably a month.
And then you'll make a
Yeah.
decision, this is
and
a
then
slow
it'd be
moving.
like, yeah, exactly, yeah. Like I ask myself, why isn't this moving? This is such a good wine. What can I do to make this move? And I'll put it on the tasting, or we'll offer a special price. We'll put it on sales. We have weekly sales. So yeah, so we'll put it, you know, we'll move it through
What
that
can
way.
suppliers do in that case? Let's say a rep, you know, is trying to make sure that they can help you. What other things they can do, you know, apart from store tastings, to make sure they're, before it's too late,
Right.
they're regaining that trust and helping you move that product?
Well, I like to have a dialogue, a relationship with the person that's behind the wine,
Yep.
whether it be the winery, the supplier, the distributor or importer, and have them like check in. How's it going? You know, and I'm like, all right, what can we do to make this, and work together to make that a little bit better. And the in-store tastings, I definitely would be like, why can you have somebody come in and do it?
Got it.
Other than this,
Yeah.
right? So
like Tuesday comes, Wednesday,
exactly, yeah, some other day, so that we can, you know, generate some more sales.
Any other ways they can help you deplete?
I like to highlight them more on social media.
Got it.
Right, so that's a great tool.
Yep.
You guys are doing a fabulous job at it. So
Thank you.
yeah, so that's a great tool to be working with. We have a 3,500 library, or I'm sorry, wine club list.
Okay.
Maybe we can generate a special email to them.
Got
you know
it,
that
got
this is a great wine, and give the story behind it, because stories sell wine.
Yeah.
You know, they really do. It's you still are looking at the price value ratio.
Yeah.
But if the wine has a wonderful story that I can tell to somebody,
yep.
they're going to take that wine, you know, and not even tasting it.
Great,
Yeah,
great.
so that's another one.
Let's walk on the other side where it's moving, it's getting traction.
Yeah.
You know, what is the journey from a 1 mixed case to a 3 case stack to a 10 case stack or a 25 case stack, right? Like, when do you decide, okay, I'm going to double down on this and order more, and maybe, you know, start
Sure.
putting more efforts to this product?
Yes, goes back to the profitability. So if we are selling a case a week of this wine, now I have to look at this again, right? And okay, let's do 3 cases. Okay, those 3 cases are gone again. Okay, now let's do 5 cases. So it has to do with the movement and if it's a profitable, you know, fit for us. I mean, we're, you know, everybody's in this business to make money.
Absolutely.
Right.
Let's connect, try to see the cross-selling ideas here, right? So have you seen people buying RTDs and seltzer, you know, pick up wine bottles?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But and that's why they're so close together, right?
Okay.
The beer section, it kind of blends the beer section in.
So the spirits and wine combo is more, or beer and wine combo?
No,
in
spirits
a
and
cart?
wine.
Okay.
I think spirits and wine are more.
So
yeah.
beer is usually the beer.
Beer is beer.
Okay.
There's a definitely different palette
Yeah.
that's going on. You know, whereas spirits, you might like a you know, a clovey kind of bourbon.
Yeah.
You know, and then you're willing to go into something that's like that into a wine. Instead of like with hoppy beers or
Yeah.
you know, whatever, you don't
But
really
that's
get
if
that.
it's the
you
same
know?
consumer. But what if
Right.
it's like husband coming in for a beer and wants to pick up a wine for wife?
For his wife,
or
yeah.
something like
Oh
that?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that happens. Yeah,
Okay.
happens a lot.
So do you ask someone here, or no, you leave this customer alone?
Well, yeah, I kind of leave it because this changes so much
Yeah.
that I'm not as confident
Got it.
as what is
So
going on
you don't know the
here.
consumers here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Understood.
So that's just it. I always approach them and
Yeah.
always say hello or greet them.
Yep.
But you know, if they're looking, and if they do ask me something, I get the answer for them. I might not know the answer, but
Understood.
we have staff that knows the answer.
So I'm going to throw some
Okay.
objections.
Yeah.
And maybe if you tomorrow quit this job and start selling wine, how would you deal with the retailer,
Oh,
right?
yeah, sure.
So let's say I'll play the retailer here.
Okay, okay.
Oh, I don't have room.
When do you think that you might be able to get room? You know, can I come back next week? Do you see any kind of? Are you changing your in 3 months? You know, when can I help you with my wine?
We don't sell Australian category much.
Can I back it up with some tastings if you bring the wine in? You know, I'll be able to come in whenever is conducive to your time.
This month's budget is done.
Oh yeah, I've heard that before. I've actually said that before. Sorry, little break on that. So then, can I come back and be here at the first of the month? When is a good time? When does your budget then come in? So I might not make that sale then, but I'm going to keep trying to get that sale.
I'm just busy, just can
Yeah.
you wait? I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, right.
You can just wait.
Yeah, okay, I can wait, that's no problem. And then a half an hour goes by and they're still busy. And then 45 minutes goes by and they're still busy. I will come back and I'll say, you know what, you're really busy. I'm gonna come back when you're not so busy. I'll give you a call and you'll be fine. And then I'll go to the next.
Nice.
So yeah.
The wine buyer's not here.
Oh, can I leave my card? And when is a good time then that I can contact the buyer? What's a good time? Is it on Monday? Is it on Tuesday? Or whatever? When can I get back?
You would advise brands,
Yeah.
in working with retailers when it comes to helping their slow move products.
Sure. Again, it goes back to relationships. I really do.
So
think
constantly
that's
check
it.
with your
It's
trade.
constant. Yeah. Make appointments. Be on time for those appointments. Those are really important. Just don't show up. And I know that sometimes, like, I taste wine only on Tuesdays. That's when I take appointments because everybody has other things to do those days. But a winemaker will come in. They're not going on your schedule, right? So they're
Yeah.
in on a Thursday. So then, okay, if I've worked really well and have a great relationship with this salesperson,
Yeah.
and he wants to bring this guy in for us to, or this person in for
Yeah.
us to taste on a Thursday, yes, okay, let's do it.
That's
But
right.
if I have not heard from you
So
in 6 months and I have no
True.
relationship and then you're asking me to do
Yeah.
it, I probably
So Nancy, let's go back on the customer service. I think that's your forte. You use
Yeah.
tastings, you have great relations, and now with that Nancy selection, I'm sure you're trying to go even deeper with that customer service. Give us some pointers to especially other retailers on how they can improve their relationships with their consumers.
Sure. Well, being honest and sincere, I've always found that if people trust you,
Yeah.
and you repeat over and over again that loyalty to them, they're hardworking people.
True.
You want to make them feel good about giving their money away
Yep.
and buying a valued, profitable, kind of enjoyable, product.
Yep.
So I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yep.
Offering something that is not at the regular stores, like we were talking about, like at grocery stores.
Yeah.
You don't have anybody that's there on the floor. And this is a very unique store
Yep.
where not a lot of retail stores has a designated person for wine. But I encourage people to do that because we still are a young wine consuming customers. So they got to take the intimidation out of it.
So you think
don't be
it's
yeah.
worth the investment to have someone even part-time on even
Yes.
the busy days, like 3 days, someone on the floor
Yes.
would really help increase wine sales?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Think about all the people that hire somebody to do their social media
Yeah.
for a few days,
Yeah.
or part-time or whatever. Well, it's just as valuable to have somebody on the floor
True.
to help,
Walk us over your exact week, so people understand that, okay, Mondays is usually this, Tuesdays is like deliveries,
Right,
Fridays
yeah.
is store tastings,
Sure.
forget about it, I'm
Right.
not buying.
Yeah,
So
exactly,
give us your whole week schedule. And this is like, I think, pure example of a Main Street liquor store of
Yeah,
US,
right,
right?
it's
So
not- yeah, it's-
I think
yeah.
that would relate with the pretty much Main Street America.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I hope that it does.
Yeah.
So I work Tuesday through Saturdays.
Okay.
Mondays are my day off. We do a special.
And Sundays is one
And
day
Sunday
off?
and Monday. Sunday
Yeah.
and Monday. So I'm very fortunate that way. You never get 2 days off in this business in a row.
Got
So Tuesdays are when I take all of my wine tasting and when I put my orders in.
Okay.
We get deliveries on Wednesday and Fridays.
So you're purely
Okay.
in the tasting and buying mode,
On
right?
Tuesday, yeah,
Okay.
on Tuesday, yeah, exactly. And on Saturday before I leave,
Just let's go on Tuesday first,
Okay,
and then we
sure.
can go on each day.
well, Saturday has to do with Tuesday.
Okay.
So Saturday before I leave the store, I look at what the depletions are. And so then on Tuesday when I have these appointments, I can put it in the right frame of mind of what I need and what I don't need. So that's so they kind of coincide with it. So then Tuesdays in the morning, I usually try to do it because my palate is fresh.
Understood.
And everybody is, ready to go.
Yep.
And then also in the afternoon. And a lot of the times, John Willano, he'll be tasting with us.
Got it.
Because he has to have the input.
Yep.
Right? And I appreciate his input. He has an excellent palate. I inherited what he had laid out.
Got
So he has an excellent palate. Learned a lot from him. And so then Wednesdays.
And that starts at 10 o'clock
And that starts
in the
at 10
morning?
o'clock. Yeah.
And then that's where all the sales reps know already that you're
Right.
doing this.
Yeah, that's the wine day.
But for the rep that is not on a Tuesday route, you're going to call him that, hey, I need
Yeah,
this. Okay.
absolutely.
And
yeah.
they'll come
yeah,
and show.
Right. Yeah.
Understood.
If they, I either call them or email them. Just open communication. Again, that dialogue that we have.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then whole day is buying?
All day.
Like
whole
till
day.
5 o'clock?
Yeah, pretty much so.
How many
I
reps
try
do you
not
see in a
to-
day?
I try not. Probably 5 or 6.
That's
Yeah.
And how many wines do you taste in a?
At any given time, 5 or 6 each person. So about 30 to 40 wines at the end of the day.
Okay,
and
out of that, how much is sort of new products?
There's I always want something new brought to me because there's so much turnover. Certain areas aren't, the Sancerre and Chablis, just to use as an example, very low production, right? They had horrible weathers for the last couple of years, so very low production, but their prices are really high. So I have to balance that. So bring me in some Sancerres. I need some lower end Zinfandels. Okay, so I will give some kind of guidance to my sales reps, so they just don't blindly come in and nothing is bought. And yeah.
Still want to stick to Tuesday because that's where the main business will happen with you, right?
Sure.
What about a rep just walking in on Tuesday, cold call? Would you entertain that person?
It's very difficult for me because I have appointments set up, and I try to give the people that I have the appointments that actually made the effort to make the appointments. So I give them the first of time. So if the person that walks in that doesn't have an appointment, if they're willing to wait, I will see them. But the people that make the appointments,
but a right approach would still be, hey Nancy, I know I caught you off this and that.
Right.
Can I come again next Tuesday?
Absolutely,
at least get started,
absolutely,
right?
yeah. The dialogue should start. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's great.
What's moving in beer? What kind of categories?
So we have a really great beer buyer too, by the way.
Great.
Modelo is, is really good. NAs, non-alcoholic beers.
Still hot?
So that's still hot, and we've also increased that section. So that's something that's to look for.
So I think is dry January, like in UK, it's a big thing. But here, you think, are you going to capitalize dry January this time with a stack?
Yeah, we will.
See, I give you some tips.
Yeah, right, exactly. Thanks. I like to drink dry gin during dry January. It's dry.
I like it, Nancy. So what's the theory behind merchandising the cooler?
Sure. We have it actually by styles, types, different crafts beers, mostly 6-packs and some 12-packs, Dogfish Head, Sierra Nevada. And then around the corner here is where we have mostly our domestic and our, ready, everybody knows here. And then we come around here and it's our German and imported beers from around the world. And you can see they have a really nice section that's on top of there.
Nice.
So yeah, it's really
beer collection.
Yeah, right. It's a beautiful And Pete Peterson is our
beer
buyer, and he has been in the business for a very long time, and he's very meticulous about the floor. So he's really impressed us all, and he's a great guy to work with. Very happy to have him.
Super. Yeah. What are some tips for sales reps out there, who would want to see you on Tuesday?
Sure.
What is a nice warm introduction you would advise them to do?
Well, first of all, make the appointment, show up on time, be prepared, and be organized. If it's a new wine to your portfolio, learn about it before you present it to me. Know about it. Have your prices ready. Whatever your buy-ins or whatever, so that it can be really informed. If there's any ratings. Unfortunately, we're still on the rating system. People want to know out of 100, what does this mean? Even though it doesn't mean like they know the writer or anything.
Yeah.
And I have a special. We were talking about certain ways to increase sales.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I do that I am humbled by.
I can see the show.
Yes, it's these little arrows that say Nancy's new favorite.
Oh, nice.
I started doing this and just by a fluke because I wanted people to know who I was.
Yeah.
And now I have customers that come in that will only buy wines that this is on.
Nice.
So I'm very humbled by that every week. I mean, every day somebody comes in and I'm like, oh no, just go get what Nancy says, So that's building the relationship and the wine trust with your customers is very important. And that also goes with the relationships with salespeople.
Got it.
Do what you say. Say what you do and be follow through.
Super.
Right?
So Tuesday's done. Then I think all buying punch-in orders are done. And then how does Wednesday start?
Wednesday starts with deliveries through the back door. Lots of deliveries that come in.
And you are involved in checking the inventory?
No, we have receiving people.
Okay.
But when wine comes in that's new or something like that, they'll ask me about it. Where does it go? What it will do? And then I will have to, on Wednesdays, I have to prepare the shelves. make room for a new wine if it comes in, move things around,
Set them up.
decide where to put it. Like I have a cross merchandising. Am I going to do it that way?
Do you have to add that item in point of sale as well?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And you do that?
No, actually, John does that.
John does
that.
that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He does that.
All right. So he system work is done, and then the physical merchandising is your
It's
area.
continuing on a Wednesday. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And then and that's a pretty physical day.
Okay.
So because you're down in the down in the cellar, bringing stuff up too, and stuff. On Thursdays, I usually do. I get all the tasting stuff ready. I do the tasting sheets. I do all of my internet work. Uploading all the events that are on different platforms.
Got it.
And then I send out emails to the
so
customers.
LinkedIn DM on Thursday
Totally.
would be a perfect way to approach
Right.
Nancy.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Got
So
it.
so that's where I do all of that. I'm pretty much Thursdays. I'm pretty much 6 hours on the computer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It takes its toll.
Nice.
But but I have to.
But you got to do everything, right? Let's break that down. So you do social media posts about your tastings, I believe.
Right.
Then you do any newsletter updates, and then send a newsletter. What other things you do?
So I send out the tasting sheet
Okay.
list of what's going to be featured on Saturday
to your current
to
customers.
the current customers
Okay.
are on our wine list. Any kind of other events that are going on. I work with a bartender who does a little YouTube video with us, and it's called Bar Talk with Jenna. And so I upload. She sends me her YouTube, and she's making a drink with our products that are on the shelf, and we work with her. So that's another thing that we do.
Yep.
It's not just about wine.
Yeah.
Although I really want it to be all about wine, we have a full service store, so everybody needs to be covered. Yeah.
Nice. Then Friday.
Friday is getting ready for the weekend, so that's merchandising the floor.
So Friday and
Cleaning.
Saturday is still the top selling days,
That's
right?
still the top selling days. Yeah, people are going into the weekends,
Yep.
and they're visiting friends now.
So you're making sure that everything is packed in storage,
yes, exactly,
stacked up, right?
dusted, cleaned,
Got it.
everything is shiny and looking very nice.
And
yeah.
then you are, I believe, on the floor helping customers. That's your main thing on Friday.
Those 2 days. Yeah, Fridays and Saturdays. Yeah, I try, and we also have deliveries on Fridays too.
Okay.
So that is coming in the back door. So there's a lot of moving parts too that are on Friday.
And these are scheduled deliveries on Friday or rush orders?
No, scheduled deliveries.
All right.
Yeah. We only take deliveries on Wednesdays and Fridays. We have 2 days for deliveries. It just makes it easier to have staff available during those times and to be more efficient, getting the product on the floor. We can't sell it from the cellar. We have to get it on the floor.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I stay here most of the time at the wine desk. This is a central point. I can see the whole store. I can see all the customers on when I need to go and help with them. Today's Saturday, so we have a tasting set up. Here are the wines. I always set up the wines so people can come in and see what they are. Here's our ratings for the wines. I have a sheet that we type up. And we give a discount, a 10% discount today for these wines. If you're a wine club member, you do get a 10% discount, but some people aren't, so we offer that to them also. We also have, I have a list of all of the upcoming events, which is on our website. It's on localwineevents.com. It's on all of our social media. And so this is kind of what I do. We do taste out of glasses, like actual glasses, not plastic cups. So this is the real deal. And I get to wash the dishes every Saturday. It's a lot of fun.
There are some wonderful displays and merchandising here, right? If I was a sales rep and I would want my wine here, how shall I propose and go about my approach from the shelf to a stack?
Right. Well, it all goes back to also how much wine we bought, right?
A proven history of
10
sales.
cases, right? Yeah, exactly. So going back to saying I can't sell it from the basement, right? Nobody's going to go down there. I have to bring it up on the floor. So whatever stock that I have an overflow of is usually how I merchandise on the floor. A lot better than what I would normally do. So incentives. Goes back again to the relationship.
Yeah.
I can't speak more about that.
So a perfect time would be, you getting some traction, first week, second order, third order, and now finally, you can see that it's moving fast. Then I would ask you that, hey, can I get a 3-case stack, and I'll come Friday, Saturday do tasting as well. I think that would be
that's
approach.
great. That was great. Yeah, like we have each other's back. We're working together as a team.
Got it.
So that would be really great.
One of the questions I had was really for other retailers to increase their profit margins.
Right.
If you had nothing else, like no extra money in advertising or nothing else, what kind of things you would do to increase profitability of your wine
Well,
sales?
there's a number of different things that you can do that really don't cost anything.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, get a wine club together, okay? And you have all those emails. So now you have a captive audience
Mm-hmm.
that you can directly, market to. So that's really
So you
really
collect
important.
emails of in
Yes.
person?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. We have a list in our system, and so they want to know what's going on. People want to know, and especially coming out of the pandemic where we weren't able to do anything.
Yeah.
They want to be involved with people.
Mm-hmm.
So that would definitely be one. Offer them special things.
Mm-hmm.
Special prices on things.
Mm-hmm.
That's but not losing profitability.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that doesn't. But you still are offering something. I think that the profitability also has to do with the customer service.
Yeah.
Right. That doesn't cost anything. Being
True.
nice to somebody and
True.
offering them something at a good price.
Yeah.
They're working hard for their money.
Yeah.
And you want them to feel good and then come back. So repeat business is definitely an important thing. That's what's kept our lights on for 40 years.
Got it.
We have generations of people coming in.
Yeah.
They would come in with their mom and dad when they were young, and now they're bringing their children in. So that would be something
Mm-hmm.
that I think profitability would be really great.
A lot of, let's say, half of the store would be a lot of mainstream products as well, right?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
example you gave was Prisoner.
Mhm.
Now, if the next door few stores are selling it for $2 more,
Mhm.
do your customers think that you are just making more margins, or you have to make sure you match the price because that trust? How is that playing around?
So again, it goes back to customer service.
Mhm.
If you go into a grocery store, there's nobody on the floor to sell you wine. There's
Mhm.
nobody that's knowledgeable. Okay, there's nobody that's going to make you feel good. It's convenience.
Mm.
You've got, you're getting a head of lettuce, and you need a
True.
bottle of wine, right? And they're right next to each other. So so there's nobody that's there. So the customer service that we offer here,
Yep.
and the knowledge, all of our employees are very knowledgeable on all the products, not just one section, and that helps with that. If we have a $2
So a
difference,
gr-
$2 is acceptable.
True. Like
Right?
a great
I
customer
mean,
service gives you that elasticity
That's exactly
to
it.
do, here and there 5% if you have
Yeah,
to.
right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but normally we don't. We try to keep our prices exactly
Mhm.
the same as our competitors in the area. Yeah.
Cool.
We are all influencers in this business. Whatever we desire, it can happen. I encourage a lot of people. I empower a lot of women as much as I possibly can to get into this field. We are the ones that are the major buyers. We are the ones that have the greatest palates. So I just encourage everybody it's a great business to be in, hardworking, and just keep being your influencer.